My fiancée called and said coldly, "Cancel the wedding. I found someone better." I smiled and replied, "Already done," when she discovered where every dollar from her secret savings account had quietly vanished. She was stunned, because the money was now in the name of her better guy. Dear friends, your support is my power. Please subscribe to my channel and support me. Thank you. I'm 27, and 3 weeks ago I thought I had my life figured out. Wedding planned for late October, decent apartment in the city, and a fiancée I'd been with for 4 years. Her name was Jenna. We met through mutual friends at a barbecue, and honestly, she seemed perfect back then. Smart, funny, had her own career in marketing. We moved in together after 2 years, got engaged last Christmas. Everything looked good on paper. But here's the thing about paper, it burns pretty easily. It started in July. Small things. Jenna became weirdly protective of her phone. She'd take calls in the other room, said it was work stuff. She started going to the gym more, which I encouraged because, health is important. Then she started dressing differently. Not for me. I could tell. She'd leave the apartment looking like she was going to a photo shoot, then come home and barely acknowledge me. I'm not an idiot. I knew something was off. But I'm also not the type to go through someone's phone or hire a private investigator. I figured if she wanted out, she'd tell me. We're adults, right? Wrong. On August 12th, I came home early from a work thing. My company had a client meeting that got canceled last minute, so instead of being out until 8, I was walking through our door at 4:30. The apartment was quiet. I called out for Jenna, no answer. I figured she was still at work. Then I heard her voice from the bedroom. She was on the phone, door half closed. "I know, baby, I know. Just a couple more months, and I'm free. The wedding's already paid for." Well, his parents paid for most of it. "I'm not losing that deposit, are you kidding? After the wedding I'll have access to everything. Then we can do this properly." I froze in the hallway. She continued, "He's so clueless, Marcus. He actually thinks I'm at the gym every morning. No, he doesn't suspect anything. He's too nice. That's always been his problem. Too trusting, too boring. You're different. You actually have ambition." Marcus. I knew that name. He worked at her company, some senior director position. She'd mentioned him exactly twice in 4 years, always in passing. I didn't confront her that day. I should have, but I didn't. Instead, I backed out of the apartment quietly, sat in my car for 20 minutes, and thought. Really thought. Here's what I knew. Jenna had a savings account she thought I didn't know about. She'd opened it about 8 months ago. I'd seen the statements once when she left her email open on our shared iPad. It had about $37,000 in it. Money she'd been siphoning from her bonuses, gifts from her parents, even some of the cash we'd gotten at our engagement party that was supposed to go toward the honeymoon. I also knew Jenna wasn't good with details. She trusted me to handle most of our finances. She'd given me her banking passwords years ago for convenience, back when we were splitting bills and she kept forgetting to log in. She'd never changed them. That night, I made a decision. Over the next 3 weeks, I became a ghost in my own relationship. I smiled, I nodded, I pretended everything was fine. Meanwhile, I did my homework. I looked up Marcus online, divorced, no kids, drove a Porsche he definitely couldn't afford on his salary, posted gym selfies constantly. Classic midlife crisis material. I also quietly started moving things. Important documents, family heirlooms my grandmother left me, my own savings into a separate account Jenna couldn't touch. I contacted a lawyer, explained the situation, got everything I needed lined up. Then came the banking part. Jenna's secret account required 2-factor authentication, but she used her email for that, and I had access. So on September 8th, while she was at the gym, definitely with Marcus, I logged in. I didn't steal the money. That would be illegal. But I did something better. I created a joint account in her name and Marcus's name at a different bank. Then I initiated a transfer of the full $37,000 from her secret account into this new joint account. The transfer would take 3 business days to complete. I made sure all the confirmation emails went to an address I'd set up, not hers. Why did this work? Because technically, Jenna had given me access to her accounts. And technically, I was helping her move money into an account with her boyfriend's name on it. The bank didn't care. Everything was properly authorized from their end. Here's the kicker. Marcus had no idea this account existed. Neither did Jenna, yet. September 11th. The wedding was 40 days away. I came home from work at my normal time. Jenna was on the couch, wine in hand, looking pleased with herself. We need to talk, she said. Okay, I replied, setting down my bag. I can't do this anymore. This wedding, this relationship, it's not what I want. I nodded slowly. Okay. She looked surprised I wasn't arguing. I've met someone else. Someone who actually excites me, who has drive. You're a good guy, but you're not enough for me. Is it Marcus? I asked calmly. Her face went white. How did you? Doesn't matter. So you want to call off the wedding? Yes. I'll move out this weekend. We can split everything fairly. I smiled. Actually smiled. The wedding's already canceled, Jenna. What? I canceled it 2 weeks ago. Vendors are notified. Venue's been released. Invitations have been retracted. My parents got most of their deposit back, actually. Paid a small cancellation fee, but nothing major. She stood up, wine sloshing in her glass. You had no right. I had every right. I'm the groom. Or was. I pulled out my phone, opened my email, and showed her the cancellation confirmations. Oh, and I moved out my stuff already. It's in storage. You can have the apartment. Lease is in your name anyway. I'm staying at my brother's. Update 1. The look on her face was worth everything. Pure shock, anger, confusion, all mixed together. You can't just. She stammered. I can, and I did. Oh, one more thing. You might want to check your savings account. The secret one you thought I didn't know about. Her hands were shaking as she grabbed her phone. I watched her unlock it, open her banking app, and then watched all the color drain from her face. Where the fuck is my money? It's not gone, I said, still calm. It's just been relocated. Check your email from 3 days ago. Well, not your main email, the other one you use for banking. She scrambled to her laptop. I'd already forwarded the confirmation to her main email address about 10 minutes before I got home, timed perfectly. She read the screen, then read it again. This says the money is in a joint account with Marcus? Yep, joint account. His name and yours. Congratulations, you two are officially financially connected. How did you? You had no right. You gave me your passwords, remember? And you never changed them. Legally, I'm in the clear. I just helped you move your money into an account with your new boyfriend. Isn't that what people in love do? Share finances. Her face went from pale to red. Marcus doesn't know about this account. He does now? The bank sent him a welcome email and a debit card. Should arrive at his place in 5 to 7 business days. She was hyperventilating. Change it back. Transfer it back right now. Can't. Only joint account holders can authorize transfers out. You'll need Marcus to approve any withdrawals. I'm sure he'll be very understanding when you explain where $37,000 suddenly came from. I grabbed my jacket. I'll be back tomorrow for the rest of my things. You can keep the furniture. Most of it was yours anyway. Have a great life, Jenna. Say hi to Marcus for me. I left her standing there, phone in one hand, laptop in the other, completely frozen. Update 2. The next week was chaos, but I wasn't part of it. I just heard about it through mutual friends. Apparently, Marcus did receive the bank documents. And according to Jenna's coworker, who secretly couldn't stand her, Marcus showed up to work confused as hell, asking Jenna why she'd opened a joint account with him and where the money came from. Jenna tried to explain it was her savings, that I'd moved it without permission, that it was all a mistake. Marcus, being the stand-up guy he clearly was, apparently said something like, "So you have a secret account with $37,000 and you were hiding this from your fiancée? What else are you hiding from me?" Their relationship imploded in about 48 hours. Marcus, it turned out, wasn't looking for anything serious. He'd been sleeping with Jenna because she was attractive and available, but the second real complications showed up: joint finances, a scorned ex-fiancée, potential legal issues. He bailed. Blocked her number, avoided her at work, the whole 9 yards. Jenna tried to access the money on her own. But here's the thing about joint accounts. You need both account holders to authorize major changes. And Marcus, now thoroughly spooked, refused to answer any of her calls or messages. The bank wouldn't release the funds without both signatures. She tried to get a lawyer involved, but he basically told her what my lawyer had already confirmed to me. I hadn't technically stolen anything. I'd moved money from an account I had authorized access to into another account in her name. Sketchy? Maybe. Illegal? No. By late September, Jenna had been forced to move back in with her parents. The apartment was too expensive for her alone, and without access to her savings, she couldn't afford first and last month's rent anywhere else. Her parents, who I'd always gotten along with, called me once. Her dad. I don't know what happened between you two, he said, but I'm sorry it ended this way. For what it's worth, I always thought you were good for her. I didn't tell him about Marcus or the cheating. Just said sometimes things don't work out. Update 3. By mid-October, around the time our wedding would have happened, I was in a pretty good place. Moved into my own apartment, smaller but comfortable. Started going to therapy to process everything, which honestly helped more than I expected. Then I got a call from an unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. It was Marcus. Look, man, he said. I know we've never met, but we need to talk about this bank situation. There's nothing to talk about. Take it up with Jenna. She won't talk to me. She's threatening legal action against both of us. This is insane. Then talk to a lawyer. I'm not involved anymore. Just tell me how to get the money back to her, so she'll leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this. I paused. You want to give her back the money? Yes. All of it. I don't care. I just want this over. Fine. Go to the bank with 2 forms of ID. Close the joint account. They'll issue a check. Give it to Jenna. Done. That's it. That's it. You're a joint account holder. You have full access. Use it. He hung up without saying thanks. 2 days later, I heard through the grapevine that Marcus had done exactly that. Walked into the bank, closed the account, got a check for $37,000, and handed it to Jenna in the parking lot of their office building. Told her to never contact him again, and apparently mentioned he'd be filing a harassment complaint with HR if she didn't stay away from him. Jenna got her money back, but she'd lost everything else. Her relationship with Marcus was destroyed. Her reputation at work was trashed. People knew she'd been having an affair with a senior director. Her parents were disappointed, and most of our mutual friends had sided with me once they heard the full story. Final update. It's been 3 months since everything went down. Early December now, and I'm doing okay. Better than okay, actually. I heard Jenna ended up quitting her job. Couldn't handle the gossip and the awkwardness with Marcus still working there. Last I heard, she moved to a different city, staying with a friend while she looks for new work. Marcus is still at the company, still posting gym selfies, still driving that Porsche. I don't think he learned anything from this whole situation, but that's not my problem. As for me, I've been focusing on myself. Picked up some hobbies I'd let slide during the relationship, started playing guitar again, joined a recreational soccer league, actually reading books instead of just scrolling through my phone before bed. My brother asked me once if I regretted how I handled things. If I should have just confronted Jenna when I first found out, broken things off cleanly. Honestly, no regrets. She was planning to marry me just to get access to joint finances, then bail with Marcus once she'd secured everything. She called me boring, too trusting, not enough for her. She made her choices. I just made sure those choices had consequences. Someone at work asked me recently if I'd start dating again. I said maybe eventually, but not yet. I'm not bitter. I'm just careful now. I learned that trust isn't something you give automatically. It's something people earn. And when someone shows you exactly who they are, you should believe them the first time. Jenna showed me she was a liar and a cheat. I believed her, and I acted accordingly. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if what I did was legal. My lawyer confirmed everything was above board. I had authorized access to her accounts, and I moved money into an account with her name on it. Sketchy? Sure. Illegal? No. Always get a lawyer, folks. Edit 2. Someone asked what happened to the wedding deposits. My parents got about 60% back from the venue since we canceled with enough notice. The caterer kept their deposit, but it was only $500. The photographer was cool about it and refunded everything since we gave them 2 months' notice. All in all, we lost maybe $2,000 total, which my parents said was worth it to avoid a bigger disaster. Edit 3. Yes, I know I could have just confronted her immediately, but she was literally planning to marry me for financial gain and then leave. She deserved to feel at least a fraction of the panic and helplessness she was planning to put me through. Call it petty if you want. I call it fair.